Our next performer, ladies and gentlemen, you're in New York now, right?
Yes, I am.
And it's going fairly well. I mean, is the city dead? What do you think of the city?
No, I think it's great. There's been so many, like we were talking about earlier, pop-up shows, anywhere people can do them, hopefully as safely as possible.
Yeah.
And
describe a pop-up show. What's a pop-up show?
So a pop-up show is basically a show that is not anchored by like one single location. And so right now, you did them when you were moving. You would do them like at Remnant, for example.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
And so they're doing them on rooftops. They're doing them literally in alleyways, in public parks.
Wow.
Sometimes they got shut down, but people are trying to keep the dream alive.
Boy, it sounds like the whole city is in college. Yeah. we're just going to go to the park and do a show.
Yeah, it's incredible. Just being out there in the elements, just being heckled by wind.
Just yeah, that's bad when you have no geography and no environment. That's tough.
Just yelling in a park.
Thank you so much for doing this. You want to talk to the folks?
Of course, I would love to.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Pamela Ross.
Yeah. Friends. I will just continue to talk. I just keep going until the light is on. I know nothing else. This is what I've been doing for over 7 years. I do love, you know what? I love a buffet. I love a buffet. I blame on being Italian. We love our carbs. We like them in large amounts, renewable amounts. And so my family, okay, this is inexplicable. Okay, Ruby Tuesday has a buffet. Every single time my parents would visit me at college in Maine, my mom insisted that we had to go to Ruby Tuesday. We weren't a Ruby Tuesday family. Like, this wasn't a tradition. She just was obsessed with this one chain restaurant location. And so one time we're in the booth at Ruby Tuesday, chilling, and I notice that all of a sudden a complete look of disgust has come over my father's face. I looked down and realized my left breast had slipped out of my dress. And that's what he was responding to. And I'm not a psychiatrist, but I think that's why I have trouble coming during sex to this day. I don't want to establish a direct cause and effect, making him the villain, but I'm just saying that wasn't great. That's my Ruby Tuesday story and my buffet tangential story. I would also like to do, I have to tell you about my bad acid trip. Okay. Here's the big revelation I came up with while on acid. I can never do acid again. It's not my drug, okay? Doesn't interact with my brain very well. At first it was fine. It was like shrooms. I was just giggling at YouTube videos and kind of lightly drooling. That'll happen on a hallucinogen. And then things took a real turn. And I started speaking like a conspiracy theorist. And then in my deluded state, I truly believed that more drugs would help my bad trip. So I demanded that my friend Kendall, who was there with me, I demanded that he order a mountain of blow on Seamless. You can't order drugs on Seamless. You can't. But the ingenuity of my thought, the business venture that no one sober would come up with. This is what no one's talking about. I think you should be able to get chicken nuggets and cocaine at the same time from the same service. I also at one point declared that climate change is not real. And I'll be honest with you, that was a real weight off my shoulders, right? mama's never recycling again. I'm not doing it. No, I live to recycle. It's the only thing that brings me joy anymore. That was my big acid trip. I learned that I should never do it again, basically. I am a bisexual. No one asked me to be. No, no one begged. No one begged. But I was like, hey, me too. Also me. Okay. So I am a bi, and wow, what a rude awakening. What a fun way to realize that I treat people of both genders terribly. Garbage. So great. What's my taste in women like? Amazing question, audience. Hotter, because I think I deserve it. Just a real narcissist. With the gentleman, of course, the patriarchy rears its ugly head. I love a little dirt in my sandwich, okay? Which is to say, all my friends who are attracted to men, they love a perfectly symmetrical, conventionally attractive man. Not me. That's not what I'm into at all. I'm exclusively attracted to straight men who resemble respected character actors, okay? I like an interesting face. So here's some questions that I would ask myself in assembling my dream man. Okay. What if Willem Dafoe were pointier? That guy's face is all angles, okay? It is a geometry proof that I want to solve by sitting on it. What if Steve What if Steve Buscemi had 3 weird eyes? Right? And it's such a good thing when it comes to Steve Buscemi's weird eyes. That's what my mom always used to say. What if Danny DeVito? I'm just kidding. No notes, baby. I wouldn't dare revise one of God's greatest creations. Are you kidding? Danny DeVito is the dream, man. He's a 10. I love him. I love that he looks like someone scooped a little ball out of a block of mozzarella and then just threw steel wool at it. And where it landed, it stayed. Perfect. I love him so much. That's my taste in the gentleman. I'll do a little micro impression for you. Okay, I'm trying to branch out. This is my micro impression. Okay, so this is if Jesus were a white girl. Okay, if Jesus, the one you're thinking of, were a white girl. Okay. I don't think that my father, the creator of the universe, would be too happy to hear about this. No, listen, I'm as guilty or oppressed Catholic as you'll find, okay? I don't think I'm above it. Like, there's a part of me that still fears God, but can we just be real and admit that Jesus was a trust fund kid who learned a trade? I mean, he's like every 5th straight white guy I meet in Brooklyn. They're like wearing like a belted tunic. They have the audacity to have like visible toes, right? Inside, just walking around. Often weather inappropriate footwear as well, which I find offensive. Constantly talking about, oh, my dad's so powerful, you know, just it but they're a carpenter on like TaskRabbit, you know. I don't know. I see some parallels. I'm just saying I'm skeptical of the Messiah. I'll admit it. Like, a little fundy. I don't know. I I love reading women's magazines. Can any of the other women here read, ladies? Are you Liz? No, I'm functionally illiterate. I would, well, I can because I'm not like other girls. No. I love reading women's magazines. I find like the sex advice in these things, it's always so condescending and sexist towards men, which I wasn't anticipating. If you open up Cosmo, they're never like, hey, treat your male partner like he's a three-dimensional human. No, it's not an option. It's always like, he's a man. Trick him. Trick him with your butthole, and it will work, by the way. Like, you can trick a vulnerable man with your butthole. I used to tag that joke by being like, but I won't do it. But you guys, I did it. Gotta rewrite the joke to incorporate the anal. All right, that's what we gotta do. Did it hurt? Yes, a little, but I haven't finished the bit yet. So I did. I have no more holes to give. So what I'm gonna do, I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna have to peg him. We're gonna have to find a fourth hole somewhere. I have no idea. That stuff. All right. How do we close? It's hard to close after a sort of a butt stuff confession, but I feel like I do have the skill and the ability to do it. I'll just tell you about Ben Carson. Are we familiar with camp icon Ben Carson? Do we know who he is? Okay. Oh, I love him. He's so funny, not on purpose. He ran for president in 2016 as the Black Republican, and everyone was like, what? Like, what's the Black dude? Like, what's happening, Now he's the head of housing and urban development under Trump, which I'm sure was his plan the whole time. And he's great. I relate to him a lot because last year at a press conference, someone asked him a question using the term REO. That just means real estate owned. Okay, he should know that. He honestly thought this woman asked him about Oreos. And I saw that and was like, well, finally, a politician that I can relate to. Still, just not only like me is he objectively bad at his only job, but he just wants to eat snacks, just Nabisco products on the brain. I'm also like a smart idiot, so I saw myself in him. Like, I can translate Latin, but I'm also like, what's a Congress? Like, I have no practical knowledge or skills, is what I'm saying. And Ben Carson, they were like, this is a huge public gaffe. He should be fired for this. And that didn't happen because nothing matters anymore. But also, I think it's hard to fire Ben Carson. He used to work in medicine, and you have to sit him down and be like, I'm sorry, Mr. Carson, you're clearly grossly underqualified for this position. We're going to have to let you go so you can return to performing neurosurgery on children. Okay, never mind, buddy. You're going to stay right here. We are going to keep you here. Is he the only person who, by being part of the Trump administration, he's less dangerous? Like harms he could cause? So he did used to be a very famous and accomplished neurosurgeon. He even wrote a memoir called Gifted Hands. That, I was very upset to find out, is not the name of a lesbian massage porno, which was a real bait and switch of a title, in my opinion. This memoir was adapted into a television movie starring an Oscar winner. Do you know who it was? It's Cuba Gooding Jr.
Oh my God.
I don't really know how to follow that up, but like, what the hell? You know, like, the guy from Snow Dogs played Ben Carson in a TV movie. I'm overcome. I am overcome. And now I need to read the book and watch the movie to finish the bit, I think. Is only going to continue expanding as my love of him deepens. And that's all I'll say. Thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Pamela Ross. I have so many comments.